Hey everybody, it's Master Gardener Bernie DeLaNay back with another small edition of It's Not Work, It's Fun. I'm going to talk a lot about turmeric root, and the spices that come out of it. But first, one of the biggest things I want to say right now is that if you are planning on doing any gardening, working with the soil, make sure you're up to date on your tetanus shots. It's very important because tetanus actually lives in the soil, believe it or not. It's very important to keep up to date on that. You don't want to get tetanus. You don't want to go through the treatment. It's very, very hard. So at any rate, everybody, I am back with another short little gardening jaunt. And yes, get your tetanus shot if you haven't had one for a while. And then the other thing I want to cover before I get into the turmeric is canna root. Okay, I have some canna root here, and I just want to. There's one I didn't plant yet. I'm going to be planting it real soon. This is what it looks like. It's right out of the bag, and they're usually in a green bag. And a lot of people say, "Well, why is it in a green bag?" This is some of this is soft. I can cut that off. If you find that some of the stuff that you get is kind of soft and not very good, you definitely you can cut it off. Okay, I'm going to cut that part off. Then I'm going to stick, this is what you can do. Peel that off, let it dry out a little bit. But also, there's a part in here that's very, very hard, okay? And what you can do, and I've got the green bag that it came in on purpose. I want to talk a little bit about that. Stick a little bit of the hormonal powder on the end of that. And this is soft. You don't need that. It doesn't need to go in the soil. Take my little bonsai gardening trowel here. The bonsai tool. I'm going to stick that on the end of it just like that. You want to put a little bit on there. Put a little bit more on there. And I'm going to stick that on there. Let that dry out for about a day or two. Okay, this, I use Root-And-Own all the time. Let them dry out a little bit. Okay. And then I will be planting this into a different container, not today. I've already got a couple of them started. I didn't happen to show them. This is a canna root, and they're in the north, up here in north central Wisconsin. They're really only summer flowers. You got to give them a dormant period or a cooling off period. A lot of times you'll see them in green bags like this. Is a very slight color. They put them in there on purpose. The color of green is on purpose because they don't want these roots, these canna roots, to absorb a lot of heat and sun through a clear plastic bag. The green bag will actually help to eliminate the sun's strong rays on these as they get trucked or set out in the big box retail stores on the shelves and sit there for maybe a couple of different weeks. I'm just going to let that sit for a little while. That's why they use different colored bags. Blue bags do a little bit different job than a green bag does. A clear plastic bag does a little bit different job than a green or a blue one. Sometimes they're purple, and they all have different reasons as to why they do that. So I wanted to show you the bag on purpose. That means that the growth won't start in the bag that it's been sitting in the big box retail store right away. It'll kind of inhibit the growth. It'll get warm in there, but it won't grow quite as much. And the different colors, sometimes they're pink, sometimes they're even red and orange. They all do different things. Okay, it's all under the auspices that the light and the sun is going to hit. This is a beautiful little tomato plant right here. I'm just going to set that up. That's one that I started probably about 8 weeks ago, maybe a little tiny less. It's standing up straight. And one of the reasons that you see these, I'll show you again, okay? that you see them standing up straight is because it's been hit by the sun. And if you see these plants that come in, if you see them that come in, now you can kind of read these labels a little bit, into your big box retail store, no matter what it is. And by the way, some of these spices that I'm going to show you can buy in your local Dollar Tree. I talk about Dollar Tree all the time because I buy a lot of stuff from there. And the whole crew in the Dollar Tree up here in north central Wisconsin and Rib Mountain, Wisconsin, they are behind what I do 100%. The employees, they've given me, they even subscribe and like to the gardening channel that I do on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube. And before I get into any of this and the culture over turmeric, okay, there's several things that actually come out of the turmeric root. It's all in the same family. And one of the things that absolutely the Dollar Tree employees do for me is they're always very, very helpful. And they always, keep this going here. They always are very encouraging. Some of them even subscribe to my little garden jaunt classics on Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. And it's just a nice thing to be able to have people behind you and watching what you do. Plus, there's a lot of people on the internet that actually do that for themselves. They actually will subscribe and like, all by themselves. Okay, so another topic that I wanted to get to before I actually talk about, I want to remind everybody, I'm going to remind everybody several times, get your tetanus shot. If you're going to be gardening outside, get your tetanus shot. It's very important. You don't want to get tetanus. One of the things I wanted to talk a little bit about is the history of turmeric. Now, turmeric is a root, and the leaves grow up. It comes from India. It traveled, okay, so it's part of the Vedic culture. V as in Victor, E-D-I-C. It's part of the Vedic culture, and one of the nice things about it is it's been around since 4,000 years before Christ was ever born, before Christ ever walked the earth. So it's been around for 4,000 years before Christ. So that's a long time, and they think that it might go on a little bit even earlier than that, although a lot of people have never found any proof of that. Okay, so it's the Vedic culture. The Vedic culture became Hinduism, it became Buddhism, and it became some other things too. That's about the extent of the knowledge that I know, okay? The Vedic culture is one that harvested the turmeric root, and they found that it was very, very healthy for you, okay? So turmeric is something that is found, they put it in the making of mustard. They put it in the making of chili. They put it in the making of chili powder. And there's some other things that you're going to be very surprised about that that they put it into. Now, there's actually 4 different things. Okay, here's turmeric powder, okay? This just says, it's not work, it's fun. Master Gardener Bernie DeLaNay, that's all it says. Just regular turmeric, okay? This is an older can. You can see it's kind of rusted here, but this stuff is still good, okay? This is turmeric. And there's this one right here. This is cumin. Now, I know you've heard of this. Holistic Gardener. I never called myself that. That's Master Gardener Bernie DeLaNay. That all has to do with the turmeric plant. The turmeric plant is an actual plant. The leaves they come up about 2.5 feet out of the ground. And what people eat is the turmeric root that's down below. It's an orange root. No, I don't have any. It's kind of hard to find actual turmeric root around here. You usually don't see that. What you see is just turmeric powder, okay? And then the offshoots of turmeric powder are curcumin, which I don't have. That's very hard to find. The offshoots are curry powder, okay? It's ancient India, and some people say ancient Chinese. However, they think, a lot of historians believe that the Vedic culture in India actually came around before China. Some people don't believe that. This is just the research that I've done. And of course, the fifth one is ground ginger. And where does ginger root come from? Well, it's actually part of the family of the turmeric. The turmeric is called turmeric curcuma longa. Okay, turmeric curcuma longa. That's why curcumin, curcuma, that the Latin name is curcumin. That you get cumin, you get turmeric, and because it's part of the ginger family, you get ginger out of that. Okay, well, I've grown ginger root before, and ginger is very, very much, it's related to the turmeric plant. Now, a lot of people say, no, I don't have any pictures or anything to show you of the actual turmeric plant, the leaves. They grow straight up. They're big green leaves. And yeah, you can eat them. You can eat the leaves. Every part of the plant is edible, including the seeds. The roots go below, and then they have kind of like a white flower or so. And what happens is they develop the seeds up by the leaves. Well, for one thing, you can eat the seeds. They're very spicy. If you eat the leaves, though, it tastes like raw fish. So a lot of people really don't like eating the turmeric leaves. They like eating the root. Now, what do you put in this stuff? Like I said, it's used in making mustard. It's used in making all different kinds of mustard sauces like Dijon mustard and poupon or gray mustard, however you want to say it. And it's used in making a lot of soups, chilies, like with the mustard taste in it. Any kind of a curried broth, that's turmeric, or from the turmeric family, or the curcuma longa, the turmeric curcuma longa. Turmeric, they say, translation is root of the ground, from India. That's the literal translation. Should it be? Oh, yeah, probably. Anyway, one of the nice things about this is you can buy this, you can buy this stuff, this curry powder. The reason I put this tape over here is because you can barely read the jar. This is an older jar. It's empty, but I just saved the jar, okay? So curcumin, that spice I can't get. This is ground ginger. Of course, this is the cumin right here, okay? Holistic Gardener, that's a name that was given to me at some point by somebody, I don't exactly remember how or who, called me the Holistic Gardener because I do talk about the things that people get from their plants. Now, can you grow turmeric plant from, if you get a turmeric root? Yeah, you can. Absolutely, you can. And the whole plant is edible. Everything is really nice. Don't mind me, folks. I see the stuff that needs to be watered as I'm talking, so I start to water because I take care of my plants all the time. And I wish I could show you some of the humongous plants that I have. The only one that you can see here is a great big huge potted pittosporum. I don't know. That's part of the leaves right there. Hello, potted pittosporum. How you doing today? I'm shaking hands with it. And then, of course, turmeric is what you get out of turmeric, okay? So a lot of people who do holistic medicine, and there's a lot of people around who do that. And for myself, I can testify to this because I have taken turmeric for a very long time, many, many years, and it keeps the inflation. we should mention that to a few politicians. Keep the inflation down. No, it keeps the inflammatories down. Like if you have inflammation in your body, okay, say your arteries or your heart or whatever. This stuff, turmeric, and I could testify to it because I eat it. It's turmeric. It just seems like it keeps it down. No, am I a doctor? No, I have no desire to be a doctor. I like being what I'm being. All right, so any of these, even in combination, and they all do come from the same family. Okay, the curcuma longa family. All right, curcuma longa, turmeric, turmeric curcuma longa. That's a long word to say. They do come to the exact. They come from the exact same family. All comes from India, pre-China. That's what I've read. Some people don't believe that. I believe. Well, I guess it's all right to believe. For me, it's true. I don't know about you, who's ever listening out there. However, that's that's what I've gathered. Okay, my studies indicate that that's what is true. And do your own studies. Take your own word for it. Get your get your own ideas. And yes, that's a beautiful little tomato plant. Yes, it is. I showed a pepper plant on here a couple weeks ago. It's doing really well. I don't always show everything because sometimes I forget to. They're in different places and I forget to bring it down. But at any rate, if you want to grow turmeric, yeah, you could grow this just like you can grow ginger root. I have ginger root grown. I don't have any. I just have the powder right now. I just have just the powder. And yeah, this is something I bought from the store. You can buy this stuff and add it to anything. Now, here, after all this time, here's a list of the things that you might not think turmeric is added to. Okay, so it's added to mustard, it's added to chili powder, curried soups. Yeah, it's curry powder. Curry powder actually comes from turmeric. But you might not think that it would be added to ice cream or orange juice. Sunny D. You might not think it would be added to jello or a cake mix, especially if they're orange. Those are different things that they're added to. Why? Well, because they are. Again, this is turmeric. This is the yellow stuff, and you got to excuse the can here, folks. The can is kind of rusty a little bit, but that's okay. I mean, it's still, the powder is still good. This is cumin, also comes from turmeric. And again, the Vedic culture, was it a civilization? Well, there's historians that disagree whether the Vedics were a culture or were they a civilization. It led to the belief in Hinduism and Buddhism and a lot of isms. And then they say that India divided from China or China divided from India, however that worked. I don't really know. I don't really care. But that's part of the origin of it. And then ground ginger, of course. And then we have our curry powder. All of these belong to the same family members. And you can use them all. And can you grow them? If I get a turmeric root and I start to grow it, I will definitely show you that. Want to remind everybody, get your tetanus shot because it's very, very important. If you get tetanus, you've got to go through a series of tetanus shots. Not quite like rabies, but it becomes very time consuming and you don't feel so good. Your jaw locks up, your muscles hurt. Okay, and then one more thing. This is a canna root. If it's been in the bag for a while, and it's a soft part, you cut it off and you put root known on it. I'm going to plant this part right down here where I have my finger and my thumb. They're hard. It's hard. It'll grow a plant. And then again, there's reasons as to why they have plastic bags, and they're different colors. Green, there's pink, there's purple, there's blue, there's red, there's orange. There we go, orange again. Sometimes turmeric is added to food coloring too, by the way. So at any rate, I want you to take one look. I got this from Dollar Tree. Oh, and one more thing. I on Tuesday, May 14th at 5 o'clock from Wausau, Wisconsin, there is going to be a live band. We're going to be recording the theme song to my television show. It's not work. It's fun with me, Master Gardener Bernie Delaunay. There'll be a whole bunch of people there. It'll be recorded in the basement of a professional building. And I'll introduce some of the people that are involved with not only Dollar Tree, but US Cellular. That's my phone company. That's the phone that I actually record this stuff off of. They helped me a great deal into getting stuff going. They actually put me on Facebook. I didn't do that by myself. I didn't know how to do it. They felt that I should be on there. And it's working. I've got a lot of followers. Okay, so thanks everybody for watching. By the way, this shirt is from Dollar Tree. It says, "Bloom where you are planted." Boy, does that fit a lot of people besides me, or what? A lot of them do. I'm Master Gardener Bernie Delaunay. Until next time, be green and remember, it's not work. It's fun. We'll see you next time, and we'll also see you on the 14th of May at 5 p.m. our time. Bye-bye.